Getting through a period of overwhelm at work can feel paralyzing, especially if you're at a small to mid-sized company where you're juggling a dozen priorities at once. Before you know it, one thing leads to another, multiple tasks become overdue, your priority list snowballs out of control, and it can feel like there isn't a light at the end of the tunnel. Whether we admit it or not, we've all been there. It's tough, and frankly, if we let it get the best of us, prolonged overwhelm easily leads to stalled progress on our goals, dread and resentment toward our career. It can even lead to checking out or quitting a position or company that you once really liked and felt fulfilled by. And this stuff can all carry over into our personal time with loved ones, our hobbies outside of work. We can check out of our hobbies or give our loved ones leftovers. And all this results in a downward spiral in several or all key areas of life. And none of these things are what we want. So in this video, we're going to talk about 10 practical ways to break the overwhelm cycle and get back on track. All right, we're going to get stuff started with our planning and prioritization tips. All right, getting us started, we're going to talk about our planning and prioritization action items, aka building your game plan. So tip 1, time block. If everything's a priority, nothing becomes a priority. Time blocking is a powerful way to regain control of where we focus our energy. And by putting the things that need to be done on the calendar ahead of time with the appropriate time block to complete each activity, it accomplishes multiple things. Number 1, it gives us instant mental clarity through having a plan for the day. If our calendar is blocked with what needs to be done for the day, or even better, for the week, it eliminates aimlessly picking or choosing what to do next, and it reduces the mental bandwidth associated with making those decisions. Number 2, it provides more accurate timelines for ourselves and others on when specific tasks will be done. And thirdly, time blocking is a game changer for deciding what additional responsibilities you take on. A consistently blocked calendar makes it easy to say yes or no to a new project or responsibility because we've got a realistic time frame of what's available for us to take on new work. Number 2, I encourage you guys, make a list. Similar to time blocking, I find it really valuable to have a physical checklist on a piece of paper for the day, especially when things are hitting the fan and the possibility for overwhelm is high. The act of physically crossing items off the list feels so good. And when I look back at the end of the day to see everything crossed off, it feels even better. Now, moving along to number 3, audit and reduce unnecessary activities from your schedule. So just like our diets and our online subscriptions, our schedules can easily become filled with low-value, time-intensive activities, aka the junk calorie equivalent of where we spend our time. So this would be things like meetings you're not contributing to, meetings or calls that can be 5 or 10 or even 15 minutes instead of the traditional 30-minute or hour-long block. Some other examples would be manual or admin work that can be easily automated, or frankly, anything where if you take a step back and you look at that activity, you have a pretty hard time of seeing how that allocation of time helps you or your team advance the ball down the field. If this is the case, it's probably a good indicator that this activity can be reduced in its duration or frequency, or maybe even removed entirely from your schedule to make room for something more impactful. So now that we've got our game plan in place, let's talk about execution and efficiency. So tip number 4 is avoid letting things pile up. And we're going to dub this the 2-minute rule. So when we let a bunch of tasks, even if they're little, pile up, that is literally the definition of turning molehills into mountains. So just like a bunch of open tabs on a computer, when we have something that needs to be done and we haven't done it, it's like an open loop left running in our brains. Even if we're not focusing on it, it's there in our subconscious somewhere, weighing us down, slowing down our ability to get things done, and hindering our ability to make quick, good decisions. So a really good rule that I read, and I think it was in the Great CEO Within, which is an awesome book, by the way. He said, hey, if you can complete a task in 2 minutes or less, as soon as you come upon that task, get that thing done immediately. I think it's a great rule, helps us keep momentum and avoid us from having too many loops or open cycles from slowing us down. All right, number 5, use AI where you can. Love it or hate it, AI is popping up everywhere now. and it's included in many of the softwares we use to do our day-to-day jobs. Now, I don't know if the robots are taking over, but I do know that AI is a legitimate force multiplier for the people who learn to incorporate it in their day-to-day. Now, this doesn't require you to learn how to code or even know what LLM stands for, but it does require you to be open-minded and test out and refine new workflows incorporating this technology. Whether it's Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, or any of the pre-approved AI tools baked into the programs you're already using every single day, I encourage you guys to start using these tools to help you complete those monotonous, repetitive, time-intensive tasks that you have to get done, but frankly, they're like a necessary evil to actually get the real work done. So I've been focusing on this heavily myself, and some examples that I'm using in my day-to-day right now are using AI to help me summarize information. It's helping me brainstorm and refine strategic ideas. I use it for preparing for meetings, researching prospects and customers, writing emails, and even getting and analyzing data from our CRM. So there's so many more use cases, but I think these are a great start and for sure can help drive speed and efficiency in your day-to-day. All right, number 6, curate your notifications and only check them periodically. The amount of notifications and pings we receive today is literally insane. I highly recommend going into each of your apps like email, Slack, Teams, Zoom, whatever you use to communicate at your company, and curate the notifications you receive. So for me, I don't receive alerts about new Slacks or emails on my phone. I have to actually open up each app to see the new messages that I've received. And then on my desktop, I've disabled the sounds and badges for those apps as well. So this means when it's time to work, talk with a customer, participate in an internal meeting, like whatever, actually get work done, I can be present. And then I have to physically go in and allocate time to check up on my messages. This cadence is pretty straightforward. So, sometime in the morning, I'll check through my messages, kind of get up to date for the day. Most days, midday, I'll check in as well, unless I'm slammed or locked into some sort of strategic thinking block. And then usually I'll have an end of day blocked as well. I find if I get pinged throughout the day, I frankly just get too scattered and end up not getting any real work done. So this has been something I've done for a really long time. It's been valuable. I'm not always able to keep a perfect cadence, but I always have at least one dedicated time block to get caught up on all my messages and emails. All right, number 7, ask for help and accept help when offered. So the cliches exist for a reason, guys. You know the ones. Teamwork makes the dream work. If you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. To avoid us finding ourselves going super fast, full speed into a brick wall, we need to recognize we can't do everything alone. If you've got a mountain of work that's continuing to pile up and the overwhelm is real and there's no end in sight, don't let your ego keep you from your sanity. Let your leader know. Let them know what's going on and work with them to delegate out some of what's on your plate, or at a minimum, keep new things from being added to your plate. I believe the reason that leaders exist are to clear the path to victory for their teams. So they should have no problem doing this. And I would encourage you, don't just go to your manager and say, hey, I'm drowning. Ultimately, what you're doing there is you're just throwing a problem on their plate. You're not really being solution oriented. So I'd encourage you to be proactive. Go to them, with your list and say something like, hey, I'm at full capacity. I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. My top priorities are X and Y. And to protect those, I need help with A, B, and C. Can we talk about delegating these out or pushing back their deadlines? Now, this is going to turn you from a complainer into a proactive problem solver, which is exactly what your leaders want to see. And just as important as it is asking for help, if a teammate or a leader offers help, you got to take it. Don't be the person that complains and doesn't take help when it's offered. It's not a good look, and frankly, it's not doing you any favors personally or professionally. So tip number 8, stretch yourself, but make sure you create boundaries so you can rest and recharge. So similar to training for a marathon or hitting new PRs in the gym, I believe it's valuable to stretch ourselves for finite periods of time at work. And this will help us reach new levels, in our career, help us learn new skills, etc. But just like in physical training, it's also important that we rest and recharge. So this is my reminder that if you're in the thick of it, if you're in a season that's demanding a lot out of you, keep pushing. Your future self's probably going to be glad that you did, but make sure you create clear boundaries and you rest and recharge as needed so you can stay in the game. So for me, this means no Slacks or emails after I call it a day. Whenever I close the laptop, work doesn't interrupt family time. And when it's my personal time, my family time, I do my best to be present and enjoy that time. I create a clear boundary between work and, non-work personal activities. Work's always going to be there. Work, if you let it, it's never ending. All right, number 9, refocus on your vision and goals. So for most of us, work is a vehicle to the achievement of our goals and the vision that we have for our lives. And I believe it's an accelerant to our success to be visualizing and writing down our goals daily. Now, you may not be visualizing or writing your goals down daily, and that's okay. I'm not always able to stay on the path and do that as well. But I do find it extremely beneficial at a minimum to visualize the future I'm working toward and to write down my goals to get me excited and recentered around what I'm working for, what I'm pushing, what I'm clawing and shoving for. So when you're in the thick of it, take a few moments, visualize the oceanfront property, the college for your kids, the dream vacation, paying off the mortgage, whatever your vision is, just get crystal clear. Frankly, when we were kids, we would daydream all the time. We get super fired up. There's no reason that we need to stop just because we're adults. Dream big. I'm promising you, this stuff works, and it really helps me stay on track. And last but not least, number 10, I just want to remind everybody, don't forget to smile and laugh as much as possible. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that when we smile, it actually releases chemicals that help make us happier. And everybody knows laughter is the best medicine. So life's short, guys. We're all humans. Regardless of how much money you make, don't take yourself, your job, all this stuff so seriously. We've only got a finite amount of time on this planet. And then frankly, all this stuff's not really going to matter that much anymore. So don't forget to smile and enjoy what you're doing. For me, that could be a 5-minute conversation, whether virtual or in person, but we're a hybrid team. So that we're a fully remote team, I should say. So that's usually in the form of a Slack huddle or a Zoom call or something like that. Just 5 minutes can have the power to brighten up your day, your teammates' day, and even the week. All right, guys. Well, that's it. 10 tips to help you break the overwhelm cycle at work. I hope these help. Let me know what tips you guys have, things that I can incorporate into my tool belt down in the comments below. I'd really look forward to hearing what you have to say. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.